Hey, good morning from Seattle, Washington. Welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. My name is Robin Fritz, and today I want to share some tips on how to be actively present with our intuitive and healing abilities. It's one of the questions I get a lot from new clients and from people responding to different broadcasts. And so I want to just chat about that briefly with you today and see what you think. And we're going to do a meditation with the Crystal Fallon, and we're going to do a Crystal of the Week. And I'll respond to questions as they pop up here on the show. So again, thank you. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. My name is Robin Fritz. This is Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. And welcome, everyone. So today I wanted to have some fun with you and show kind of how I keep my intuition and my healing ideas and abilities and thoughts present for me on a daily basis. And I hope that you'll find something here that you're already using or that will inspire you to add this to your routinely daily life and even share some of your tips. So really, a lot of people email me, hi, everyone. Hi, thanks so much for saying hi. We're going to jump into that, but first let's do a quick meditation with the Crystal Fallon. I'll try to get to some questions during the show, and let's just get started. This is Fallon. He's a citrine Lemurian quartz. Hi, everyone. Monterey. Oh, Barbara, I'm so jealous of you. I love that area. This is Fallon. Fallon is citrine Lemurian quartz, and we will talk about him in upcoming shows because people have had a lot of questions about that. But hello, you are all beautiful souls. So thanks for joining me. Isn't this a great place for us to be together? I am so grateful that I can be here with you every week. So focus on Fallon. And as you're focusing on Fallon today and tapping into him, however your intuition works, seeing, hearing, feeling, or knowing, just think about what elements of the world you could bring into your daily life that would help remind you that the world is bigger than our everyday go to work, go home, clean up the house, daily lives, which is also awesome, but there's more to it than that, even more than play. So as you take a deep breath and focus on the top of your head, we're going to connect mind, body, and soul more tightly together. Just breathing down from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Let the cares of the day and the neighbors, if you can hear that roaring in the background, that's the neighbors working on their backyard garden. It's summertime. So from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet, and really just concentrate on what elements you can bring into your life to boost your intuitive and healing abilities, which I'll show you some of mine in a few minutes. So breathing down from the top of your head, down your face, your shoulders, your chest, your hips, your knees, and your feet. Just let the cares of the day wash away. This is your time to be in community with all of us. Safe space for all of us to be together. Just feel those blocks. Yes, Deborah. Releasing. And now as you breathe up from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, you're welcome to invite Fallon's healing energy into you, and you will experience that however you experience your intuition and healing abilities. See pictures, feel feelings, hear him chat with you, or just know that you're present with all of us today. Breathing up from your feet, past your knees, your hips, your chest, your shoulders, your face, and the top of your head. Just take a deep breath. Fallon is pretty amazing, and I'm pretty happy that we're back together again after all these eons. And I have had requests to talk more about Fallon, and we will do that in upcoming shows. But today I wanted to share with you some answers to a couple of questions. Really, it's all one question that people send to me, and that's, how can I keep my knowledge of my own intuitive and healing abilities present in my daily life? How can it be just everyday reality for me? And I'm going to give you some tips on how I have done it over the years. And it came to me to share this because of the questions. And also, if you look behind me here in my busy office, you'll see the lavender hanging there. That's this year's lavender harvest that just came in. I live in Seattle. This is a lavender farm over on what we call the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. And every year they send me fresh cut lavender, and I dry it upside down over a couple of weeks in the house. And then, as you see along the top shelf, there are lavender bunches that I've used to kind of decorate the office for our gatherings here. But yes, Patricia, I love lavender. I love the scent of lavender. And I get huge bunches of it every year. So if you were coming for an appointment here in Seattle in person, you would see how much lavender I have all over the house. And a couple of reasons. One is that I have a cat who thinks everything is edible. And it used to be that lavender was one of the things she didn't eat. My current cat loves to eat it. So we're having that discussion. But lavender has a very calming scent to it. Very, people use it for eye pillows, lavender oil for all kinds of things for calming, but it's also a good clearing device. And lavender will keep the energy flowing easily through your home. So any blocks, any stuck energy that you bring home from your busy day, that lavender will help dissipate those energies and keep the energy of your home or your business safe. Yes, Patricia, get some today. Keep it clear and healthy, and it's just lovely. And every year when the fresh shipment comes in, we sleep really well at our house too, because it has that effect of just helping you get nice restful sleep. But because it is a clearing, very important clearing tool, I use it to make Fallon lavender salt. So I put Fallon, I make a bowl of coarse ground Himalayan sea salt, which I really recommend Himalayan sea salt for also keeping the energies clear in your home. Put lavender from last year's harvest in that, and then set Fallon in a big bowl of it for a day or two until he says it's done. And I just filled a big shipment to a client, so I don't actually have any Fallon lavender salt to show you today, but imagine, let's see if I can turn this, there it is, a Himalayan sea salt lamp. So imagine this color in a coarse ground with lavender buds in it, and then the essence of Fallon in that salt, and that's Fallon lavender salt. So I also keep that around the house, except like I said, I just filled a big order for a client and don't have any right now. I need to make some up. But sea salt is a great combination. Let me go back to this Himalayan salt lamp. Himalayan salt lamps are another thing that I keep all over the house. I have 3 in my office. I have 3 in my living and dining area, and I have a purple and white one in the bedroom. Purple is a dark, obviously a dark color, but the dark purple lavender salt lamp is not a bright light at night, so it doesn't keep you awake like this light could do in the dark, just because it's brighter. And I get those from Soleil Wellness in the Midwest here in the United States. Pretty awesome place. If you're looking for fresh lavender in bulk, Cedarbrook Lavender Farm over in Sequim, Washington. Just Google Cedarbrook Lavender. But lavender grows pretty much everywhere around the United States and in other countries, so I'm sure you can find it anywhere you look. And of course, there are many dried lavender products. There's lavender essential oil, there's lavender sprays. I have all of that. So some other things that I keep around the house. So I have bunches of lavender. I have Himalayan salt lamps. I have a lit. This is a Glassy Baby. It's a company in Seattle that does hand-blown glass votives, and this is actually a lit. I tipped that without spilling it. And this is actually a glassy baby votive that I bought as a present for my desk some years ago when I brought the desk into my home. But having lit votives are really great. You have to be careful if you're like me and you have a cat that's too curious. So I don't keep them lit except when I'm right here and I know the cat is doing something else. Like right now, she's out cold on the cat seat. In fact, I'm going to blow it out so I don't forget. So that's one thing. Um, the other things are sprays. If you like scented sprays, this is a rose spray that I buy from my friend Carolyn Ford, who has Einstein the Crystal Skull. Rose is a really high vibration scent and very, very expensive if you buy rose essential oil because it takes like thousands of rosebuds to make a little bit of oil. But she mixes it with various different elements. And Fallon and I are experimenting with different sprays of our own. You can also get unscented sprays. You can get things like this is Palo Santo. I should figure out how to type and talk at the same time here on the service that I use. It's Palosanto. Palo Santo is a sacred tree in Peru, and the scent is really unbelievable. It's not a heavy scent like copal, which I like to use when I'm involved with a really intense space clearing. This is a more delicate scent, a very beautiful scent, and yeah, and sometimes the rose is overpowering too. And Cheryl, thanks for bringing that up because some people prefer unscented ways, sprays and so on to use for clearing, and that's great. Do that. You can take a crystal that doesn't dissolve in water, like crystal like quartz, like Fallon is, and put it in a bowl of water and let it sit for until the crystal tells you it's done. But yep, Palo Santo's 2 words. But to make an unscented spray, you could soak a crystal and then use that and spray it around the house. Or if the crystal is one of those that could tend to be caustic. Okay, I'll get that question, Christina. There are some crystals that are toxic. Then you can just suspend that crystal over water and not let it touch it. That's a whole nother subject. But if you find a crystal that you like to use, you can invite it to infuse water and use that as a spray around the house. And you can also really use your intention to clear your space. So if scents bother you, and a lot of people are sensitive to scents, I, for example, cannot handle tobacco scent, but there's a lot of incense that are too strong for me. So I don't use them. Someone asked about another one, copal, and of course this is upside down on the screen. Oh, so copal, turn that so you can read it. Copal gold, COPAL. It comes from a tree in Mexico, and it's similar to frankincense, but less expensive. But when you burn it, it is a very heavy scent. And I use that in a very difficult space clearing where I'm dealing with a lot of entities and so on that are just really stubborn. So those are some of the clearing things that I use. And also you can make an altar. So if you look here on the second shelf, you'll see these boxes up here. Those are the ashes of my 3 beloved animals that have passed since 2012. And I keep them here with me in my office to remind me that family is really forever and love is forever. And I have good memories of them. It's sad to know that they're gone, but having their ashes is sacred to me. So if that kind of thing is sacred to you, then welcome those in your space. I used to keep the ashes of my kids on the dining room table, which, you know, some of the dinner guests were a little like, oh my God, really? So you just have to go with your sense of humor and listen to your heart. Where would you want the ashes of your family members, human or animal? where if you have them, some people bury them, some people scatter them. I keep my animals with me, and it reminds me of our sacred life together. So that's another thing. So, what would you keep around your house that would remind you of sacred things? These are really claws that I bought from a friend who travels overseas and buys from small individual manufacturers, like one person businesses. And this is actually a pillowcase that she bought, but I love it for sometimes I use it beneath the pillow that I rest Fallon on and have crystals all around it. When I do a special clearing of the house, or when I have a special client over for a session, or if I'm traveling and doing space clearings. So something like that that you keep just for special occasions, like keeping your home cleared, those are also wonderful ways of reminding you on a daily basis as you look around the house that you maybe set up an altar to remember deceased loved ones or your family that you live with currently, or just thanking the world for making a place for you in it, right? Because it's all really beautiful. So those are some things too. Now let me see what kind of questions people have here. Um, I'm so glad that everyone's here. Yes. Oh, Patricia, your best friend. I am so sorry. You have the love of this entire community with you here today as you share that with us. It is extremely hard to lose a loved one, human or animal, and I know how you're feeling. So thank you for sharing that with us. And we hope that you can find peace in your heart and at some point, start remembering how grateful we are to have them with us. What else do we have here? Rose essential oil. The name of the other wood, Palo Santo, is the one wood that I use. A lot of people like cedar. I don't recommend using cedar. People have cedar chests and cedar in their closets. I had a dog who had epileptic seizures, and cedar will set an epileptic off. So I don't keep cedar around. Other people like sage, which isn't a wood, it's a grass. I'm not that fond of sage. I like it for cooking. I don't like to burn it. If I burn sage, it's a combination of different grasses that I burn. The rose essential oil, you can buy them several places. This one is from Carolyn Ford. And Carolyn Ford, Einstein, the Crystal Skull. And Google that and you'll find Carolyn. And she's a friend of ours located down in, I think, Sedona, Arizona. And there are other places you can make your own sprays by buying a high quality essential oil. And fortunately, now there are a lot of those available. And jasmine is another oil, or gardenia, or really any oil that really appeals to you is really important, because what may appeal to, like some people said, rose really bothers them. That's great. You know that. So avoid that for your own personal space, because what it's going to do is like pull you away from it and not help you connect with everything around you. So that would be my recommendation there. Find an essential oil that you like. There are places that have them, and you can, and like a perfume, only smell like 2 or 3 at a time, because your nose goes wacky after that. And find one that appeals to you, and then you can mix a little bit with water, or some people use other things like fractionated coconut oil to use if they want to put it on their bodies. There's a question going on here. Let's see. South Africa, rose. What other questions? Yeah. Cheryl, Amy grows lavender. Lucky you. I have a deck. That's about it. And I use all of that for a few other things. Frankincense is great. The green stone. Christina, thanks for asking this. This is turquoise. This this necklace actually called to me from Montana, and I had to track it down to a clothes shop. So I'll tell you some of these stories coming up. Turquoise is very grounding. And whenever I do a broadcast like this, or whenever I do my radio show, or whenever I do a client session, whether it's in person or on Skype, I will wear what I call my power crystals. And again, this is another thing that I use to remind me daily that intuition and healing are real skills that we all have. And what we're doing here with these, this is Preseli Bluestone, which is a foundation stone of Wales set in a dragon setting, which just goes to show, don't ever go shopping with a dragon, because they'll make you buy everything that's got a dragon on it. And this is aquamarine. And they're stones that I was drawn to and I like to wear. And when I wear them, when I look around the house and see lavender, or again, the Himalayan salt lamp, it reminds me that I've chosen to really look at the world as a complete and holistic place where we as humans are equals with all life, where we can share and learn and grow together with the trees, with the animals, with the wind and weather systems, with our lavender, with our sea salt. We can invite these beings to come into our homes to help us clear our homes. We can take them to work to help clear our workspace. The Fallon lavender salt that I make, I give people take it to work, and they put a crystal in it. It's very beautiful. It looks like an art object. And so the people walking by their desks don't know that they're using it to clear their space, right? They just know they feel better around that person. Yes, dragons. Yeah, we'll talk about dragons at another time too. So we're running out of time here today because I got carried away showing you everything. But I'm getting back on track after being off for a busy, hectic summer of personal stuff. But next week we'll get back into dealing with your questions here on the broadcast, and all sharing together. But I hope this gives you some ideas of things that you might be drawn to. So here's a quick tip on how to find the things that would partner with you in your space at home or at work. What appeals to you? What if you closed your eyes and said, oh, what is the scent that I really enjoy? Well, for me, it's sea air. It's also the sulfur smell of Yellowstone National Park. The sea air is easy because I live at the beach. The Yellowstone sulfur smell is not, so I have a Yellowstone calendar to remind me that I'm connected with Yellowstone. So there's lavender, there's roses. There are all kinds of flowers that you can keep in your house that you can dry. Hydrangea is one. But if you have animals, especially if you have cats, be very careful, because almost everything out there is poisonous to cats. And if your cat is going to eat it, you just don't want that inside. The other thing that I have inside is one gigantic plant. It's Raymond the Jade Tree in the other room. And if I were smart enough to carry this laptop into the other room without losing the connection, I'd show you. But Raymond is like 55 years old. My dad grew him for single leaf. He's like 5 feet tall, huge wingspan, so to speak. I tease him about his wingspan. It's the only plant I keep in the house. But Raymond is very alive, and he participates in my family life and in teaching and in work with clients. So again, what house plant could you bring into the house that would be safe for your animals, that would inspire you, that will help you just recognize that we are all naturally intuitives and healers, and we can bring those skill sets into our lives and reach out and connect with the world around us. I really believe that we would all feel better physically, mind, body, and spirit. Okay, feel better, mind, body, and spirit, and be more connected to the world if we realize that we were all equals with all life. We're not in charge of it. And by doing this, by bringing these other beings into our daily lives with us, it reminds us that there's more than the troubles that we have at work, and there's more to paying our bills and cooking every day. There's fun. There's the awe of connection to the world around us. And so do what feels right to you. Create your little altars, create spaces in each of your rooms that you can look at and go, oh yeah, that's right. The world is bigger than I think. the world is more awesome and more beautiful, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. And now for the crystal of the week, one more beautiful thing I want to share with you. This is lavender amethyst flower. Lavender flower or lavender amethyst. A lot of people, sorry, I'm having like figuring out how to show it to you without getting it off. And I'm actually going to put it right there in front of my face so you can see it better. This is just a gorgeous piece. And they call it a lavender flower because in the back you can see lavender deep inside. The other crystals that are part of this, I don't remember. But what I do know is that when I met this crystal, it was instant love. Isn't it gorgeous? And I bought this crystal just because it was beautiful. And the minute I saw it, and when you look at it, you can, Robin, okay, can't talk and show crystals at the same time. If you saw it lying down, but you can see in the middle there, it's almost like a mountain range surrounding a valley. You could sit and stare at this crystal for hours and have all kinds of stories about connection to the world. But as a crystal of the week this week, I just wanted to share this with you because it's beautiful, but also lavender flowers, amethyst flower, if you Googled it, it would be amethyst flower, are very high vibration crystals, and they're wonderful partners to remind us of our place in the universe, of our place with all life, and to really celebrate, the really artistic nature of the universe. It is very difficult to get these out of the earth in one piece, so they're expensive, but they are worth it. I don't know if you'll find a combination like this. A lot of them are simply the quartz with lavender, and they're also very beautiful, but they're very delicate. So look around for one. But I just love sharing this with you today. It's another element of when I walk around the house and I go, oh gosh, yes, I remember that as being an amazing part of my life. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. And it's been a pleasure to share some of the things that inspire me to keep working at my intuitive and healing abilities. And I hope it inspires you to bring these elements into your life. Just greet them, say welcome to the family, invite them to tell you where they want to be. Some will want to be on the bedside table next to you. Some want to be near where you cook. Some want to be with you in the office like mine are. Enjoy them all and really take advantage of their desire to partner with us to help make the world a better place and to help make us better. We're always learning and growing together. So if you enjoy these broadcasts, thank you, Patricia. If you enjoy these broadcasts, please like the Humanity Healing page. Please go to omtimes.com page there on Facebook. Like those pages. Please like my page, The Practical Intuitive Robin M. Fritz. And you're welcome to contact me for a personal session. I offer personal and business intuition, mediumship to connect with deceased family, human and animals, space clearing, animal communication, past life and between life regression, really a soul progression clearing. As a past life regressions therapist, I really know how many lifetimes we've had and how we're continuing to grow in this lifetime, and that's what we're doing here together. And please join me this afternoon at my radio show at omtimes.com, The Practical Intuitive, Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World, or part 2 on a series of responses to questions from listeners on what's that all about. Today we're going to be talking about deja vu, all kinds of topics. So please join me there later. But thank you for joining me today. If you have questions, or please connect with me on my Facebook page. And I'm still trying to figure out how to answer questions on here once the broadcast is back up. But also contact me on my Facebook page if you have questions. You're welcome to call a radio show. And let me know the subjects that you'd like to cover in upcoming shows. I don't know everything that's going on in the world, but I do know some things. And I do know that as a community, we can explore it together and learn more together. So peace be to all of you. Thank you for joining us today. Cross your hands on your heart. Breathe into those palms of your hands, healing energy, and imagine that you are connecting with the energy of the universe. As you breathe into your palms, feel that air of your breath, feel it as energy, and back on your heart, closing you back down today so that you can go back out into the world. Go out and share how beautiful you are. Thank you for joining me today. We'll see you next week. Take care.